And maybe that's why it was so barbaric to displace the people that were already
Barbaric?
there. Yeah, it
They
was.
tried to butcher us in the War of Independence.
Bro,
Okay, what do you
it's a
expect?
war. It's a war, dummy.
Yes, in war, people that try to butcher somebody else
Yeah,
pays.
and the
They
difference
butcher
is,
us, so they go out.
and the
But
different
they left in their own will anyway.
and the difference between what you're doing to Gaza and what Gaza did
Oh,
to
what we
you
are
is
doing, we're making
proportionality.
them pay so they will leave us alone. They need to
Yeah,
go. They cannot stay after what they did to us.
So this is a
If
genocidal
you
Yeah, wear a mask. Wear a mask. Yeah, go ahead. Put a mask on. We want you on here. Yeah. Yeah, wear a mask. Yeah, be yourself. We want to see you. Yeah, we want to see you. He going to get a mask. To get a mask and get it together, and then we gonna pack this up. Let's get it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, go get the mask, buddy. Do what you gotta do. And we want to know you. We want to know you, buddy. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why. All right,
Okay,
cool.
just
Let's see
a
who
second.
we talking to. Let's see who we talking to. That's what I want to see. Ridiculous.
Give me a second here.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, bro.
You're
This dude
supposed to
been
see
begging me
me.
to debate, and now he don't even want to see. He don't even want me to see his face. You got your webcam covered, like it's just a black screen.
You're
Dude been
supposed to
begging
see
me.
me.
Yeah,
Here
I
we
can see you
go.
now. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and tell me what your issue is. So tell me why you in my comments being hostile toward Black Americans, please.
Bro, I'm not hostile to you. Okay, relax, buddy.
Okay.
You touched the subject, and I replied. I replied
Okay.
to many stuff that you said.
So
And I'm
so
not seeing you for weeks, just days.
okay.
Relax.
Okay. So tell me what your issue is with me. Tell me, explain to me why you keep calling me out, why you begged for this debate. Explain it to me, please.
First of all, that was your idea in the first place, buddy.
Okay. All right. So you made claims about October 7th. Let's talk about it. When I was talking about the victimhood of Black Americans historically in this country and the dehumanization of Black Americans historically in our country, you talked about October 7th. Why?
First of all, you said that. Let's see what you said. Let's see. You said that. What the you said that that you don't owe, that your community doesn't owe anything to anyone, and Jews help. Okay, that's what you said in your last video, correct?
Yeah. We don't owe any loyalty to any group other than ourselves.
Not
Why are we
now,
expected to?
even if
Why are we expected to advocate for Jews? Why?
because Jews helped you get your rights in the 60s.
Jews helped us. First of all, you said made us, and you tried to correct it.
No, helped, not made.
Helped. How did y'all help?
We helped you with Martin Luther King. We supported him.
Y'all supported Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King was a Zionist. That's why.
Yes, he was a Zionist. And let me tell you a little secret, buddy.
I don't follow Martin Luther King. I follow Malcolm X.
Okay, anyway, let me tell you a little secret. In Jerusalem, there's a street named after him.
I don't
Just
give.
So you know.
Why do I care about that? In the ghettos of America, there are streets named after Dr. King, and my people are still suffering in those environments. My people still go through things in those environments. They still experience poverty, racism, bigotry. So a name on the street does not mean anything to me. It's just a symbol of somebody who passed away. No disrespect to Dr. King, but I follow thinkers like Malcolm X, who was not a Zionist.
Yes, he visited Egypt multiple times. No, if I'm mistaken.
What's your point? Malcolm X traveled. What's your point?
My point that he's traveled to Egypt, and Egypt has a history of enslaving Africans below the Sahara. That's my point.
Okay. First of all, I'm not African. So what does that have to do with this conversation?
You're African American? No.
No, I'm not African American. I'm a foundational Black American. Excuse you.
Okay. What the hell is that Black foundation? What?
A foundational Black American is someone who can trace their lineage back to slavery in America. Here in America, I've never been to Africa. My story starts with slavery, and I am a distinct person. I am not an African. I've never been to Africa. By your logic, if I'm African American, then so is every other person in America, white or black, because the origin of life began in Africa. So if you want to say
Yeah.
that I'm African, then you have to reconcile the fact that you're African too. So there's no distinction there. It's a dead category.
Yes,
It's not
Africa is the
normative.
source of humanity. Nobody denies that. But in any
Right.
case, African American, Black
I'm
Americans,
not
whatever.
I'm not African American, and it's not whatever. It's very important that you respect who I am as an individual, or we can't talk at all, because you and see, this the
Okay,
problem.
but
This the problem. You
buddy,
asking
okay.
this the problem. You're asking me to support your cause. You're asking me to get involved in your genocidal behaviors toward
Genocide, excuse me? Excuse me?
another oppressed people group, and then
Oppressed people
you
group.
can't even address me
Really?
by my name. And you can't even address me by my name. See, this is where
Bro,
it get fuzzy.
really?
So
Are
I
you
want you to
serious?
explain to me
Genocide, really?
why a foundational Black American who has no business in Africa should should care at all about anything going on in Africa. Tell me why. Other than the fact that it's a
Bro, I
tragedy
don't tell you
that they
to,
can't get their
bro.
stuff together.
Bro, I can get I can say my stuff. Listen, I'm not telling you to care about stuff in Africa. I'm
Okay.
telling you that
So why then
Egypt was a big in slavery and is a big had a big history of enslavement of enslaving Africans below
Yeah,
the
I don't
Sahara.
care. I don't
Okay,
care.
yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, that's one. And second, there is still racism to people like you in Egypt. Okay, in the
Yeah.
Arab world in general, you have a lot of racism towards sub-Saharans or what you call as black. Okay,
No, I'm not
there's a lot of
sub-Saharan.
racism
I'm
in the
not.
Arab world to people
Buddy.
like
Whoa,
you.
buddy.
Okay,
You keep going back. You keep doing it again. How many times
what?
do I have to tell you that I am not sub-Saharan? I am an
You know what
amalgamation.
that is?
I am an amalgamation of slaves, indigenous Americans, and Europeans. I'm an amalgamation of that and that alone. So all of this African talk, I'm not African. I'm not African. And by your logic, you have to deal with the fact that it presupposes an out of Africa theory. If you want to tell me that I'm sub-Saharan because my ancestors were taken from Africa, life began in Africa. So explain to me why whoever
That's
else.
not what I'm saying, buddy.
So
That's That's not what I'm saying.
okay, so explain it to me slowly.
First of all, you look sub-Saharan, okay? But
I
never
look
mind that.
sub-Saharan. Whoa. Okay.
Yes.
So your conception of race is based on phenotype, correct?
What, bro?
So-
You even understand what the sub-Saharan is? It's somebody from the south of the Sahara in Africa, okay?
But how do I look African? Explain it.
For the love of God. Yes, you look African. How do you
Okay,
look
I
African?
look African. That
Go
doesn't
to
make me
places like
African.
Ethiopia
That-
and Zimbabwe,
brother,
and then you will
racial.
bro.
Yes, this is racial
Elon
science.
Musk
You're
is
calling me.
originally from Europe in
you're
terms
call-
of genetics, okay?
You're
That is a
brother,
fact.
brother. You're calling
What?
me sub-Saharan because of what I look like, and I'm telling you that I've never been to Africa, and I'm telling you that your logic, your racial logic, is a racial science that has been debunked historically. It grew in the progressive era of America. So just because you don't have the education,
I'm not from
that
America.
race is not real. Race is not real. It's not real.
Of course it's not, but I'm trying to explain to you that in terms
So
of
then what I
depiction,
look like doesn't matter.
bro.
I'm telling you
know
that I'm
what?
a black
Let's
I'm a
get to the
foundational
point.
Black
Bro,
American. What's so hard to understand about that?
foundation, whatever. Okay,
No,
black
it's not
foundation
whatever.
American.
It's not
Okay.
whatever. It's not whatever. It's not whatever. We're not moving past it until you address me as my name. I am a Black American, a foundational Black American. So
Okay,
anything that has
foundational black American.
there
Okay,
you go.
I'm not
Good
an American,
job.
buddy.
Good job. Okay, yeah, and this is the problem. You're not American, and you're trying to tell me about American issues. This is where it gets
Bro,
complicated,
I'm
right?
trying to get to.
Do
you
I
know what,
tell you
let's-
about Israel? No.
First of all, you try to. You claim that we are doing a genocide. That's insane. After October 7, you claim that we are doing a genocide. A genocide? Really? Really, buddy?
Okay. After
Really?
October, what happened? What happened before October 7th?
What happened?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. So the Palestinian people
I
were just
tell you what
living
happened.
freely.
We've been to a holiday.
So the Palestinian people were just living freely, and then finally just decided one day that they just wanted to go bomb women and children at a concert. They were living freely, and that's just what they wanted to do. It wasn't a decolonial project. It wasn't anything like that, right?
No, there's no. Are you claiming that we are colonial in the land of our ancestors? Really, buddy? Really?
The land of your ancestors.
Yes.
Okay, are you sure about that?
Yes, buddy.
Okay, because it's a lot of Jewish scholars that got pushed
Oh,
out of the
really?
Jewish. It's a lot of Jewish scholars that got pushed out of the Jewish conversation because they didn't necessarily think that
Buddy, let
modern
me
day
give you a
Israel was
private
biblical
story of mine.
Israel. I
Buddy,
don't
let
care
me
about
get.
your anecdotes. I don't care
No,
about
no,
your
no. Let me
anecdotes.
give
I
you a
don't care
private
about your
story of
anecdotes.
mine. No, no, no. Let me tell you. The sister of my mother did a DNA test, and a big part of her DNA is from Israel. You understand? And in
Bro.
general, you have a lot of Jews that can trace their genetic DNA into here. Okay, the
Okay.
majority of Jews on the planet can trace
Okay.
the DNA into here.
That's fine.
It's a fact.
That's
You have
fine. Okay, that's
records.
fine. That's
You have
fine. That's fine.
archaeology.
That's your.
Let me tell you a story, buddy.
Their
Well, my
babies being
cousin was in the
mutilated.
north, first of all.
Listen
You
to how you
understand?
sound, bro. Their
Listen to
babies
how
being
I sound. Listen, look what
yeah
they did. Or look
yeah.
what they almost did to my
Their
cousin.
babies, bro.
My
Okay, tell me
cousin
about your
was in the
cousin,
north,
bro.
first of all. They almost
Okay.
butchered her. You understand me? Look what they, and you feel sympathize for them after what they did to us, after
No,
what they
I
did
don't
to hostages.
sympathize. I don't sympathize with nobody. What my position is
When
that
you
I don't.
say we are doing to
I
them genocide, you
bro.
sympathize with them. You
The
sympathize with
bro.
child killers.
What bro?
You sympathize with the sickos, with those
Oh my
disgusting
God.
creatures.
Yeah, so many people in the West are
People
siding
in the
with
West don't know what
sickos,
they're talking about.
even though y'all have been according to international law, y'all have committed a genocide. According to
Bullshit.
international law, y'all have bro, yeah. So international, so what the world thinks doesn't matter. Only what the Jews thinks matters.
No,
Out of here,
no.
bro. What's wrong with
But
you? What does
international
this have to
law,
do,
first
bro?
of all,
Bro, you're talking
bro,
to a
if
black
somebody
American.
attacks you and butcher your civilians, you have the right to make them pay. Okay, I don't know what it,
How many
I'm
people
not
died on
not a
October 7th?
expert in
How,
international law,
how
but
many
I know that the Europeans love to
how
break it when they feel
how
like it, and they say
listen,
stuff that is not there.
listen, how many people died on October 7th?
1,200
How many
civilians.
people now how many people have died
Let me finish. I didn't
in the
finish.
Gaza Strip?
I didn't finish, buddy. Buddy, let me finish. 2,200
2000.
civilians,
Okay, I'm gonna just look it up, bro.
and the people, and more than 200 and 251 people were abducted into Gaza.
Okay, so about 3,000 people. So more than
No, 1,000
73,000.
and
So
200 civilians were unalived
right,
in
right,
7 of
right, right,
October, and
right.
250 people were abducted into
Okay.
Gaza.
So according to PBS, it says here
PD
that
what?
PBS. It says 56% of the 73,000.
Bro, come on. The
That's what it
majority of the
says
people
right
that
here.
were
It
killed are
says it right here.
terrorists.
I can pull it up for you. Do you want me to share my
And
screen?
where do you get that from?
I got it from PBS.
What
I
is
got it from
PBS?
PBS
What
is
is it?
it's an educational news platform.
Okay, and where it's
Simple.
get it from? And let me tell you, you know what? Let me break it up to you. It get it from Hamas, okay? Hamas, the news from Gaza about those numbers is from Hamas, okay? And by the way, the majority of the civilians that were killed in Gaza are Hamas members, okay? The
Okay.
Hamas dress up as civilians and then they fight us.
So
And that's
I
before we talk about
I
the
want to know,
miners
brother,
that use guns against us in there.
I don't
Okay?
talk
There
about
is
I don't talk
multiple
about these issues.
depictions,
Bro,
buddy.
you
There is
can't,
multiple
bro.
depictions of miners there in Gaza using attack IDF soldiers with gun. There are
Women and
multiple.
children, right? Women, right?
What?
Listen,
Yes, also women.
I'm getting bored. So here's the thing: I don't talk about these issues on my platform for this very reason. You are delusional. You
I'm
think that
delusional? Really?
yes, you think that 5,000 lives is equal to 73,000
Bro,
lives.
if they use their population as human shields, that's their problem. They use their population as human shields. It's on them. Okay?
This is
It's on
embarrassing.
them.
This is sad. So, all right. So, what's
Well
your
said.
issue?
If somebody
What
attacks
is
me
your
and then
issue?
he uses family as a human shield,
what
that's my
is-
problem?
What
Really?
is your issue with foundational Black Americans? What is the issue
What
with
are you
the what
talking
is
about foundational Black Americans?
what is your issue with the videos that I've made?
Bro, you talked about me we're talking about 7 of October or about foundational
Okay,
American? We are talking
that's
about,
because
topics.
that's because in a video I was
What?
talking about the victimization historically of Black Americans, and then
Bro, for the love of
and
God,
then
all I
and
wrote
then
to you
and
is
then
that you're not the only one that is that is being oppressed in the USA. Okay,
Okay.
look what's going on in Jews
Okay.
in there. Look what
Okay. Right,
happening in
right, right, right. Whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
Jewish
whoa, whoa.
population there.
So the subject of my video was that I don't want to be a mascot for anybody else's oppression. And when I'm telling my story,
Okay.
up about yours. That's what I was saying in the video. I was saying that it's dehumanizing because victimhood is a part of human life. So it's dehumanizing to say, well, you're not the only one that's been a victim. I've been a victim too. And you can proudly say that you've been a victim historically, but when it comes to Black Americans, I'm supposed to put my story aside and listen to yours. And this is
No, I
exactly what you've
didn't
done
say
here.
that. I didn't say that, buddy. I didn't say that.
It's the
All I
implication of
said
the
is
claim.
that you're not the only one that is getting screwed there. Okay, buddy? That's all. That was my point.
I don't have no sympathy, bro. I don't have no sympathy. I'm sorry. I don't and the reason why is because it's not my people, bro. It's not my problem. It's not my people.
Jews helped you in the 60s instead of supporting Islamists.
Do you understand what happened in the 60s to Black Americans? Do you understand what happened in the 60s? We lost our economy.
Martin Luther King gets your rights.
You helped integrate us in a way that did not sustain the success of Black Americans. Prior to the 1960s, Black enterprise was on the rise. Black business was on the rise. Black education was on the rise. This is according to Dr. Thomas Sowell's Social Justice Fallacies, right? And he also has another book. Whoa. Wait. And there's also another book by Thomas Sowell called Civil Rights Vision, Rhetoric, or Reality, where he explains that we were actually on the rise out of poverty, not necessarily perfect, but we had a lot of good, promising things going on before integration. Then immigration comes, not immigration, that too, but integration comes, and it seems as though things took a backslide, right? Like, because the systems that were set up didn't necessarily benefit Black Americans. So you're trying to say that, and they benefited us in some sense, but you can't really take credit for the work that Charles Hamilton Houston did.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
But you're saying that the Jews helped us, and I'm giving you foundational Black American names that helped us. So Charles Hamilton Houston helped us. Thurgood Marshall helped us. Charles Drew helped us. These are names that we can. Again. So you said, what were the names?
No. What those guys did exactly?
Okay, so Charles Hamilton Houston actually kicked off the civil rights movement, in my opinion. And so basically, if I'm not mistaken, he mentored Thurgood Marshall, our first Black Supreme Court justice. These are the names that I think of when I think of foundational Black Americans and our struggle. So the thing is, like, you want to say that Jews helped us. They helped us how exactly? Because we were going to fight for our rights.
From what I know, listen. Okay, I can talk. Listen, bro.
Go ahead.
First of all, let's both calm down, okay? I'm here to peacefully talk with you, not to do a screaming match with you, okay?
That's fine.
Like you said to me in the private chat, let's respect each other, okay?
I didn't say that.
You said something similar, okay?
Okay.
Listen, from what I'm not aware exactly of the history of your 60s, okay? From what I know, a lot of there were Jewish lawyers that helped you. Jews in Israel supported you, okay?
Supported us how?
Supporting getting your human rights in the South, okay? That you can go to a restaurant and sit as equals with the other people, with the other Americans, okay?
Supported us how? That's circular. You're saying Jews helped you, and I say how? Because we supported you for your rights, and I say how? And then you say because Jews helped you. That's circular reasoning. That's a logical fallacy.
I will explain myself.
Yeah, explain, please. You got some explaining to do.
From what I know, there were Jews that were protesting with you, and some of them, from what I know, paid with their lives because of that.
Yeah, sure. Some Jews were good, but also some Jews owned slaves. Some Jews owned slave ships. Some Jews were bakers during some Jews regulated the stock exchange and sold black bodies.
Yeah. Oh, come on, bull. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Not all, but some.
Bro,
yeah.
Where are you getting this from? Bro. Come on.
12 million estimated Black Americans died. Foundational Black Americans died during the transatlantic slave trade. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. Y'all got reparations. Do you understand that? We still pay for ours.
How many said they did that?
Did Jews get reparations?
How many Jews from your community died?
12 million estimate. And that's not even including the undocumented deaths.
Bro, from what I know, people only 1 million got to the USA. No?
12
from your
million.
community.
12
Yes.
million.
Okay, 12
12.
million. 12 million died, and 1
Yeah.
million get to the US. You know.
It doesn't matter. We had our
Okay.
own
First of all,
Holocaust.
if you
We
want
had
to
our own
to
Holocaust.
compare our history to yours, you're going to. Then we're also
We
going
gonna
to.
lose? We gonna lose? Is that what you gonna say?
Bro,
Is that what you gonna say? You gonna say that I'm gonna lose for telling you that objectively
no,
more Black Americans died
that's not
during the
what I mean,
transatlantic
buddy.
slave trade than
That's
during
not
the
what I
Holocaust of
mean.
Jews?
Bro, no, that's not what I mean. I'm telling you that if we are going to compare your history to my history, then we should also can talk about the other stuff that went before the Holocaust, like the pogroms, like the Spanish Inquisition and more. Okay,
Uh,
but never mind that. It will be
yeah,
a waste
never
of
mind
time.
that. Never mind that. Never
Okay,
mind that.
listen about our reparations, so-called reparations.
Yeah, you got so-called.
We
Did you get cash payments or not?
what?
Did you
No,
get reparations or not?
bro, I didn't get nothing
So
from
Jews
Germany.
never. So
They gave
Jews never gave.
some penny and a half to some Holocaust
Jews never
survivors.
got.
That's all.
So Jews never got money for the Holocaust. That's what you're
No, I
saying.
didn't say that, bro. Don't
So
put
Jews
words
got
in my
money for the
mouth,
Holocaust, right?
bro. I can tell. I can talk, or you can, or you're going to
Go
speak
ahead and
on
talk.
me.
Explain how Jews got money for the Holocaust,
Okay,
but that's
I
not
am explaining
reparations.
to you something. Let me talk. Now, the Germans, with all the damage and the stuff that they took, compared to all of this, they gave some small amount of money to some Holocaust survivors. That's it. To call that a reparation is a joke. It's like I will take out your house and throw you a hammer penny for it. It's reparations. That is
So
what you
imagine
want.
how Black Americans feel. We worked 400 years for free. Imagine how we feel, and
So,
our bodies, black bodies hanging from poplar trees.
buddy, we
Imagine how
also
we
been
feel.
in slavery
Imagine how we feel.
number of times.
Imagine
Okay,
how
yeah,
we feel. Imagine how we feel. We lived in this land before a white person ever touched.
red.
Yeah, exactly. Brown and red, right? Some very dark, right? The
Depends on
Olmecs,
what Indian
right?
you're talking about.
Yeah. There were many Indians that were darker than me, lighter than me as well. Many of them the same
So you
shade as
claim
me.
that you're an Indian?
I claim that I am do you listen? I just said when the debate started that I am an amalgamation of indigenous Americans, slaves from Africa, and Europeans.
Okay,
I just told you that.
But you said that
So
you
yes,
have
I
been
am
here before
indigenous as well.
that you've been to the USA before the Europeans.
What does indigenous mean?
Somebody that is native to the area.
Right. And so if somebody is native to the area, that means that they were there before another group, right? That would make them
Okay.
indigenous, right? And I just told you
So-
that I am an amalgamation of indigenous Americans, right? Do you know anything about
Okay,
Black
so
American
you're a
history
mix
or
of
no?
European, Sub-Saharans, and
No,
Indians.
yeah, I guess you could say it like that because I don't feel like beating you up again, so I'm gonna let you have that. Sure. So again, why am I supposed to care that Jews have been oppressed when I'm talking about my oppression? Why? Why am I supposed to
Because
care?
we helped you get out of yours.
How?
We helped Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King, bro. Listen,
We supported you in the 60s.
I'm not necessarily an integrationist like that. Like
Now explain to me. I want you to explain to me now why less than 24 hours after 7 of October, people here need to see on TV people from the hate group Black Lives Matter waving a sign that has a Hamas terrorist on it. Why?
I don't support Black Lives Matter.
No, but still, why you don't condemn them? Why nobody? Why you know what? Not you, your community in general. Why your community in general don't condemn as a whole that hate group?
I don't speak for my community unless I say that I speak for my community. So you address me and what I have to say. I said I don't support Black Lives Matter. So talk to me, talk to the man, not the idea, not some abstract idea of some Black American that has liberal views or leftist views.
To you as
talk
a
to
community.
me. Yeah, talk to me. So explain to me why I need to care about October 7th. Why? And I'm not supposed to care about the babies being mutilated in Palestine. So explain it. Make it make sense.
There's no such thing as Palestine, for the love of God.
Okay, in Gaza.
Okay, first of all, the areas that you call Palestine besides Gaza is called Judea and Samaria, for the love of God.
Okay.
Judea and Samaria.
But there were people there before y'all got there. And then y'all came. There were people there.
We all came, buddy.
Yes, there were people. Yes,
3,000 years of
yes.
Jewish history in that area. There
There
were
were
Jews
people.
living there
There were
before the
also
19th
Christians there. There
century.
were Christians there when y'all got there.
So
So,
there were
so,
Christian
so,
community
right.
there besides the Jewish community.
Er,
So
So
what's your point?
what I'm telling you is that you displaced a bunch of people in
No, we didn't
1950
displace them. They tried to butcher us in the in a war of
because
independence.
y'all did, bro.
And they
Y'all
failed.
can't, brother. If I come to a land, if I
Bro,
come to your brother, if I
it
come to
was
your
never
house,
the
if I
land.
come to
There
your
was never
house,
Palestine there. Read
brother,
some history books.
if I come to your house, there were people there.
It's not
So
their house.
there were
That's the point, buddy.
there were
It's my
instances.
house, not theirs.
How? If you weren't there, but they were.
Bro, if I will take you to Judea and Samaria, the heartland of Israel, there is a lot of archaeological sites that can show you of Jewish existence all the years
Why didn't
in the
Jewish scholars
medieval.
support Zionism at large during its conception? Why didn't they support that?
I don't know who those scholars you're talking about, but
I
probably
mean, this is pretty
the
well-known
public is being
history.
crazy.
Now listen,
Bro, there are DNA evidence, archaeological evidence,
So if I
historic
have
record.
evidence,
It's
so
insane
listen,
that you deny it, that
can
you
I
deny my history
can
and
I
my
ask you a question?
homeland.
Can I
Shame
ask
on
you a
you.
question? Can I ask you a question?
What?
Okay, so if I have evidence, like say I'm indigenous and fully indigenous to America, no amalgamation, nothing like that. I am an American Indian, right? Say I'm an American Indian, and I have
Okay,
evidence,
you're
right?
Indian.
And wait, hold on. It's a hypothetical. And let's say my family, like for some reason decides that they want to move to Europe for 3,000 years, right? And then I basically say, 3,000 years later, after this 3,000 year period, I say, you know what? I don't really know what's going on back in my indigenous homeland, but I kind of want to go back home.
Okay, first of
There are
all,
people there,
let's put some.
but wait, whoa. But there are people there that are claiming the home. It's been 3,000 years. Do you know how long that is? There are people there that have migrated there. Let's say they migrated there. And they claim the home. And they raise their families there. They have institutions there. Stop,
No,
bro.
bro.
Can I talk? Can I talk? It's a hypothetical. You can correct me once I finish.
It's not correct, but whatever.
Okay, and so and there are people there, right? There are people there. And so when I go back home 3,000 years later, there are people there that have made the home that I left my home or been displaced from my home. And I tell them I have evidence that I was here before you and this is really my home. But all they know, their traditions, their history, their manuscripts, their institutions, their institutional identity, all of these things in this hypothetical situation.
Institutional identity. That's ridiculous.
It's a
shame
that's nasty. That's nasty.
Bro,
that's nasty.
if you know them like
this is why
we
people
do,
don't support Israel. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second, bro. I'm gonna mute you for a second. Because this is why people don't unless you can stop talking, I'm gonna have to mute you for a second. Because this is why people don't support Israel, bro. And I'm gonna explain it to you, right? I'm gonna actually really try to explain it to you and be objective. The reason why people don't support Israel is because you can sit there and say that these people don't have any institutions, right? Just because you have your political... No, hold on. I'm trying to explain to you why people don't support Israel. Just because people are different from you, right? They don't have the same political identity as you, and you have a political identity that promised you land 3,000 years ago.
What?
Doesn't mean that people stop, bro. All right, I gotta mute you. I gotta mute you now. So, and I'm gonna let you talk. Okay? But first, I'm gonna say what it is that I want to say for my audience. Okay? So, for the audience, this gentleman is saying that people in Gaza who are being subject to all type of bombings, mutilation, all type of crazy stuff, right? Like they're being subject to a war. Those people don't have any culture. They don't have any institutions. So in my paper that I published in the European Journal of Political Theory, one of the arguments that I made was that an institution is not just a set of buildings or a set of norms. It's communities. So now he's saying that they don't have any institutions, which speaks to why they mutilate children. Because if you can say that this group of people don't have any institutions, that necessarily means that they also don't have any families. They don't have fathers. They don't have mothers. They don't have aunties. They don't have daycares. They don't have churches, mosques, whatever. They don't have schools, hospitals, whatever, which would lead me to think I can deduce, or at least I'm being induced to see that the bombing of these institutions doesn't come off as problematic on this person's view, because he doesn't view these people as having institutions. So I'm going to let him respond. But just to be clear, my claim is that to say that people in Gaza don't have institutions is to say that people in Gaza don't have families, don't have any structural communities, and that is false. So go ahead and say what you want to say.
Okay, you addressed a big number of stuff in what you said now and before. So now you're going to give me the time to address every one of them. Okay, buddy?
Go ahead.
For the fairness of it. Okay, institution. Okay, I was mistaken with another words. They have, of course, the Hamas is their government that they elected democratically, of course. Yes, they elected Hamas democratically. Deal with it. And
Hamas
majority
is,
of them support what Hamas did.
So just a point of clarification, Hamas is not their only institution because not every person in Gaza is Hamas.
Bro, no, bro. The majority of Gazans support the 7th of October, and let me tell you something. I don't.
How do you know that?
How I know it?
Yeah, how do you know that the majority of Gazans support the October 7th
during
massacre?
The 7th of October, you had hundreds of thousands in the street cheering for Hamas, throwing stuff at the hostages that were paraded in chains. Okay, you had the question is if you only knew. The question is insane. You had them parade their body. They unalived. Some of them unalived hostages in the captivity. Some of them raped hostages in the captivity.
So your claim is that people
I can speak, bro. I can speak. Okay, you want me to give you names? Look, for example, look what they did to Romi Gonen. She was raped by a number of Gazans, and some of them, at least half, were civilians. Okay, in the hospitals that you so much love in there, a doctor raped her. You understand me? She was she was injured. She was abducted from the Noah Festival during the 7th of October, and a doctor in their hospitals raped her. She said it. Now,
let me ask you a question.
What are you doing with your head? No. What, you're claiming she's lying?
Can I ask you a question? No, I'm not saying anything. I'm asking to ask you a question.
You silence me when I try to ask you something or say something.
I just want to ask you. I just want to ask you a clarifying question, if I may. So your claim is that
you didn't let me put my claim, but okay, let's hear it.
So your claim is that the majority of people in Gaza support Hamas because the majority of people protested in the streets.
They did protest. They celebrate in the streets.
Celebrated
every
in
time
the streets.
They managed to butcher somebody here or grape somebody here.
How many Gazans?
Thousands of them.
How many Gazans? How many Gazans
to celebrate? That's what you see also in Judea and Samaria, in the areas that under control.
How many Gazans exist in pre-October 7th? How many Gazans were in existence?
2 million around that.
2 million.
Of course, the numbers come from Hamas, so you don't never know the exact numbers.
So 2 million, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just said hundreds of thousands of people celebrated in the streets after October 7th.
And 2 million. And attacked the civilians that they abducted.
Okay, and they attacked the civilians. You know what? And they, wait, hold on. Let me get I gotta mute you, bro. I gotta mute you because you don't want to hear this truth. You don't want to hear this hard truth. Listen.
Don't know the truth.
I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna drop you. You gotta let me speak. I'm using your own logic. I'm not using Hamas's media. I'm not using American leftist no sources. I'm using only what you said, brother. So you just said that the majority of let's just think about math here as we work this out, right? You just said that the majority of Gazans supported October 7th. Your evidence stop. Your evidence for the claim was that after October 7th, hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza celebrated and also murdered Israeli civilians. Now, there are 2 million Gazans, according to you, that exist, more or less, pre-October 7th. So if there are 2 million Gazans, more or less, that exist pre-October 7th, then 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000, even 900,000 Gazans doing what you said they did, whether or not it's true, I don't care, would not constitute the majority of Gazans supporting Hamas. That would be false mathematically.
Bro, you need to understand something very basic. They learn to hate us from childhood, and every person there behind the part in 7th of October or took or was part of that crowd, there is a full family behind him that raise him to this and support him. Okay? Before 7th of October, the religious people there gave them approval to rape our women. Okay? You don't know them. You don't know how they think. Okay? They are not like you and me. They are not a restaurant. They don't have human. They don't have
They're not.
liberal
They're
values
not. They're
like
not
you and me.
human,
You
right?
need to
They're not human,
understand this.
right? So
What?
you and I are
Of
not
course, they are
allies.
human
Okay,
beings. They don't
you and
act
I.
like it, but they are human beings.
You and I are not allies, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, and it's not about October 7th necessarily. The reason why you and I can never be allies, regardless of whatever you feel about Dr. King, is because I run a channel where I primarily talk about Black American issues, and I do some philosophy on the side. When I talk about things that
You
I
talk about 7th of October, not me.
Stop, because okay. So let me go read the comment. Okay.
I sent you many comments.
Let me go read the comment. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna just go read the comment real
You're
quick.
the one that wanted the data in the first place. You said
right,
about the comments
so
that I wrote to you.
You
a
said
few,
no.
week ago, yesterday.
Don't try to wiggle your way out of this one, brother.
No,
Don't
I'm
try
not.
to wiggle your way
You
out of
wanted
this
the
one, brother.
buddy. You wanted.
No, there's a phenomenon.
No, you wanted.
Okay, let me see. My only comment, by the way. All right, cool. Now, what we can see here, right? We can see here, it says, so this is a video about Black Americans not being able to get victims. I'm just going to read the description. Black Americans are expected to fight in everybody else's struggle and stay quiet about our own. A short reflection on victimhood.
That is not the first stuff that I wrote.
Whoa. Stop. It says Black Americans are expected to fight in everybody else's struggle and stay quiet about our own. A short reflection on victimhood, memory, and who gets to decide what your past means. Okay, so this person commented and said, actually, no, there is another ethnic group that gets shamed both as individuals and as a collective. Whenever someone or some organization within it complains about racial discrimination or even outright persecution, that group is, of course, the Jews. In general, since October 7th, the verbal and physical violence in institutions and on the streets across America and Western Europe has reached shocking levels no one could have imagined prior to October 7th. And according to certain polls, Jews are... So, yeah, you're Jew-splaining to me, okay? That's what you're doing here. You're Jew-splaining. And I don't like it.
How lovely. You try to make me feel guilty for talking about it. How lovely.
Oh, whoa, hey. Isn't this ironic? The video was about Black Americans feeling like victims, and that being okay.
You talked about Jews.
Oh no! I'm gonna mute you because I didn't talk about Jews in the video necessarily. I said that we're expected to fight alongside Jews. So, anyways, as I was trying to explain, this is very ironic, right? Because my claim in the video was that Black Americans are expected to fight alongside everybody else, and when our victimhood comes up, we're expected to downplay it or be mascots for oppression for somebody else, and that's problematic because it dehumanizes us, because it doesn't allow us to interpret and reinterpret our history. That was the premise of the video, the thesis of the video, right? And now I have a person telling me that because I don't want to hear him talk about Jews while I'm talking about Black Americans, that I'm downplaying his oppression, downplaying his struggle, and making him feel bad for being a victim. I'm not making you feel bad for being a victim. You can be a victim. I'm telling you, when I'm talking about my struggle, I don't want to hear about your victimhood. It's not time to talk about you. When it's time to talk about you, we talk about you. We can go to the Holocaust Museum. We can go to the Holocaust Museum and we can read Anne Frank, and we can have a whole Holocaust section in every American history class. It's American history. We learn about the Holocaust.
The point here is that you said that you are the only one.
You have your time, right? But when it's my time to claim my victimhood, my oppression, my legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, the war on poverty, the war on drugs, mass incarceration, all of these things, our struggles through the civil rights movement, you want to say, well, Jews helped you, so. That's again dehumanizing.
Bro, you said that you're the only one. That was the point. I didn't say
that wasn't my claim. I said
you're the only one, that your community is the only one.
My claim is that we are the only ones that are made mascots for everybody else's oppression.
You say it again.
Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? See, this is where I get disrespectful, because I'm trying to explain to you that you're strawmanning me. You're saying that I claim that Black Americans are the only ones that were ever oppressed. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Black Americans
No, I'm not
are the
saying
only
that.
ones that are made mascots for everybody else's fight.
Bro, you're putting words in your mouth.
What?
You
What?
did.
Whose fight were you a mascot? Were your people a mascot for? Tell me.
Bro, I can speak for a second before.
Yeah, go ahead.
Instead of you cutting me off.
Go ahead. Speak.
Good. Bro, you say that your community is the only one that get shamed for
No.
discussing their
No.
problems.
No,
Okay?
I
Or something like this.
no, I said that my community is the only community that is expected to be mascots for everybody else's struggle, everybody else's fight, everybody else's oppression.
You also said in that video that when you talk about your struggles and your problems, people are doing shaming on you or something like that. Okay?
Yeah,
And
but I
all
didn't say
I
we were the only
over-
ones that were ever shamed. I didn't say we were
Yes.
the only
So
ones that were ever
what I'm
shamed.
saying
Didn't say
that is happening to us. Okay, buddy? That's
You're
all.
shame. You're made a mascot for somebody else's oppression.
No. For God's
Okay,
sake.
so again,
No,
we
bro.
have-
I
we
said
have-
that people when Jews in the USA or Jews in general in the West are discussing
I think anti-Semitism
the
is going.
hatred
I think
towards them,
anti-Semitism is
you
going up.
have
I'm gonna
people
be so
making-
real with you. I'm gonna be so real with you, bro. I think anti-Semitism is going up because of the way y'all speak about Gazans and what y'all have done to them.
Oh,
Sorry.
because we defend ourselves from them after they
You're
butchered
defending
us.
yourself. At what point
Yes.
does defense become offense? Because again,
Bro,
you said
they,
your
after
claim,
what they
your claim,
did, they need
your
to pay. You
claim, your
understand
claim
me?
was that
We
your
cannot
claim
live
was.
next to them anymore. They need to pay for what they did to us. Look what they did to the hostages. Look at the
So
Bibas family, for
wait,
example.
whoa. What do you mean?
They paraded a mother
do you
and two
mean?
babies that they
What do you
murdered
mean?
in their
I don't
bare
want to hear
hands.
your anecdotes. I don't want to hear your anecdotes. I want to address your
You
claim.
don't want to hear the truth. If your roommate or your neighbor will break into your house, rape your wife, and unalive your child, would you can have this person live next to you, and that person also tells you that he's going to do it again and again? Will you be able to live next to that person?
So let me ask you this, because
Tell
I
me,
asked you.
yes or no?
I
Yalla.
think it's a false equivalence and a false analogy.
No,
but,
it's not.
Okay,
It's not.
But
Deal with the
anyways,
question, yes or no?
all right, you're not gonna tell me how I'm supposed to talk on my own platform, bro. You gotta relax. But I will say this.
You're making fun of the situation
I'm
here.
not making
How
fun
can
of
I
anybody's
how can I
situation.
relax?
I'm not making fun of any situation.
Look what they
It
did
is-
to the hostages
It is a tragedy what Hamas did to the hostages. It's a tragedy.
and the Gazan civilians.
Yeah,
the
and
Gazan civilians, bro, took
and
part in the 7th of
All right,
October.
bro. All right, bro. I
Why?
don't want to
Why
mute
it's
you,
hard
bro.
for
I
you
just
to
want to
understand
talk,
this?
bro. I just want to talk on my own platform. Can I talk on my own platform, please? Thank
Yes,
you.
but you also
Now
admit
listen.
it, no?
Yeah. I'll let you explain your claim, and now I'm gonna debunk it. Okay. So when you say this is why people call it a genocide, this is why people say that you guys are destroying the Gazan civilization with intent, because you say they can't live to us anymore.
Civilization.
Whoa. Yeah, so are you saying that there's no civilization in Gaza pre-October
Bro.
7th? Are you
Bro.
saying that?
What did you have there is something like
What is a civilization? Tell me.
Bro, I can speak for God's sake before unless you can let me speak instead of cutting me all the time, for God's sake. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's your channel, but I'm a guest here. Okay? Treat your guest properly. For God's sake.
Yeah, you're right, bro. Go ahead. Explain to me why Gaza has no civilization.
Where to start? What you have in Gaza, it's like an ISIS. It's basically an ISIS. It's like ISIS territory. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
they had 5-star hotels before the 7th of October. Okay, but the majority of their money gone to the tunnels that they built. Okay, under the hospitals that you are talking about, for example. Okay, if you only knew the disgusting stuff they do there to minors, to little girls, if you only knew, then you will call them Sodom and Gomorrah. If you knew, to call them a civilization is a crime. It's disgusting to call them a civilization. They are out there. It's outrage that they are abomination.
What did God do to Sodom and Gomorrah?
What they do in the Bible?
Yeah, in the Bible.
Took it out. So
Yeah, he wiped it out, right? Exactly. So when we call it a genocide, that's why. You just made my point. But
Bro,
but
that's what
even
God needs to
whoa,
tell you. What you want from me?
I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk, bro. I'll let you talk, bro. Just relax. So you're saying that these people don't have a civilization because their government is corrupt and evil, right?
The
But
Hamas.
there's more to civilization than your government. For instance, if Donald Trump does something bad, right? Like, let's just say Donald Trump's in the Epstein files, right? He's my president. My actions don't reflect his. If the entirety of everybody in the government, right? If everybody in the government with the position of power does something evil or corrupt, right? That doesn't reflect the whole of the United States. No, I'm going to speak. And the reason why it doesn't reflect the whole of the United States is because there is more to civilization than just a government. And in fact, what governments do is protect civilization. That's what they're supposed to do. And so your argument is kind of making government ontologically prior to civilization, which it is not, because the I doesn't come before the we. Think about it. When a baby is born, it's born to a family. Therefore, the I is not prior to the we, yet the we is prior to the I, right? You following? Okay. Now, hold on. I'm slow walking it because I also have an audience that probably trying to learn something and also like really want to. Whoa. See, look. The reason why I'm bringing that is it basic because the reason why I'm bringing it up is because
no, it's not.
You are supposing that something created, such as a government, is prior to institution or representative of institutions as a whole. And that claim is false. The way we know that that's false is because before I have a government, I already have a first person plural because I'm born into a family. I'm born in civilization. There's no pre-political person. So again, what you're doing is you're stripping the humanity away from Gazans.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. But go ahead. Respond.
First of all, I'm not stripping their humanity. They did it themselves on 7th of October and after.
So because whoa. So this is also
I can speak for God's sake.
All right, no, you can't. Not until I address that because you keep saying it and then you try to like go past it, but it's like no. So the reason why I have to address that is actually quite simple, because when you think about what you just said, right? You said Gazans as a whole stripped their own humanity away when they did October 7th.
With their
Gazans
deed,
as a whole,
yes.
Well, stop. Gazans as a whole didn't do October 7th. That's point number one.
Yes, they did. Listen to me, buddy. Listen.
Okay, you're muted. Gazans as a whole, he just said that there were 2 million Gazans, y'all.
Let me explain myself.
No, you can explain after I'm done. You can't make a claim like that and then not get debunked. He just said that there was 2 million Gazans.
Let me make my claim.
Did 2 million?
You cut me up all the time. Let me explain myself.
I'm not gonna let you. No, you can explain. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes uninterrupted after I finish what I'm about to say. Okay, how about that?
Okay. Yalla.
So listen. Gazans as a whole didn't do October 7th by your own logic because you said that there were 2 million Gazans. And I'm pretty sure 2 million Gazans didn't march into Israel and mutilate the people like on October 7th. That didn't happen. But the deeper point that I'm trying to make is that you're stripping their humanity away again because a person is something with a past, a present, as well as a future. Because if you don't have a future, you no longer, there's no continuation of your life. And what you are in the moment is not the whole of what you are because you reinterpret your past all the time. Okay? So when you say that Gazans stripped their humanity away when they committed October 7th, therefore they are no longer humans, or no longer acting as such, that dehumanizes them because you're making their future the whole of what happened in a moment. This is what happens to Black Americans all the time, actually. When Carmelo Anthony stabs Austin Metcalf, the story is that he's a thug because of what happened in a moment, but he also has a past and he also has a future. So the whole of who he is not whatever he did when he committed a crime according to the law. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that you're stripping their humanity away by making the whole of their existence October 7th. And the reason why that's important is because when you look at the whole of their lives, you might see that they're actually way more civilized than you're trying to make them. How did they become a terrorist state? How did that happen? What led to that? They were just born terrorists, right? Now you can have the floor for 5 minutes. I'm actually give you a timer, okay?
Cut the timer off. I will talk. Okay, yalla. Listen. Okay, let's start with what I'm going to ask you here and there some questions, basic rhetorical questions, but still. Let's start with your first claim that not all of them are guilty of 7th of October. There were other things that they did to us 7th of October. They are abusing us for decades. Okay? For decades they are abusing us.
Did a baby
Every
abuse
time,
you? I'm sorry. Let me mute.
What?
Sorry
No,
to
you
interrupt you,
can.
bro, but did the babies that were mutilated in those pictures and videos with the drone strikes, did those babies abuse you?
Bro, listen. Those
And before you
babies
say
that
that,
you
and
said,
before you say that Hamas used the babies as human shields, I want you to explain how a grown man, probably about 5'8" to 6 foot on average, can use a toddler as a human shield. Explain it.
okay, I will explain to you. First of all, about the hospitals. If in a hospital you put your Hamas terrorists there and you put tunnels under it, and then you cannot call it a hospital anymore. Okay, it's not a hospital. It's a terror base. Okay, the same thing you can do in schools. That's what
So
they do.
so let me ask
I
you a
can
question.
speak, bro. I'm
Okay, go ahead, go ahead,
speaking.
go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, that's what they do. Maybe you don't understand it because you don't know them. You like a lot of Westerners with that don't know nothing of what's going on outside of bubble. Okay, you don't know them. That's
All right,
what
so
they
now
do. They use kids as human shields. They
right,
use
right, right,
hospitals, schools,
right.
whatever you want as human
So your
shields, and
logic,
then they cry like
just
like, like little
so just
babies that we bombed it.
so to
Let me explain,
understand,
bro. No,
you. All right, go ahead.
no. Let me finish this part, small part, and then okay. Before we took out places with civilians, we put flyers in there. We made phone calls, okay, to those civilians that we are going to bomb their area, even if the terrorists come also gets away, unfortunately, okay. And these all okay, and those guys don't have a problem to use even their effing families as human shields. I'm not telling. It's not a joke. You have cases of them using their families as human shields. They think to themselves, we are going to hell to heaven as shaheeds, as martyrs. Okay? No, yes, that is it. Maybe
I'm
you as a
shaking my
Westerner
head
cannot
because
understand
no, no,
this,
no, 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 no,
but
no,
that
no,
is
no,
the
no, 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 no.
reality, buddy.
First of
That
all,
is the
first of
reality
all,
that
first of
you
all, first of
don't
all, is
understand. This is
first
not
of
the
all.
West here. This is the Middle East. This is how it goes here. You
Okay,
understand?
so first of all, I understand. I've heard Ben Shapiro's talking points on this. I've heard the mainstream, Mark Levin, all the guys say that they're using Benjamin Netanyahu. I heard all the guys say that they're using people as human shields, right? And so by your lie,
Yes. They
but I
also
want to,
use the hostages as human shield.
listen, right? Yeah, I just
No,
said
no, let
people.
me
You know
one
what
thing and
people are?
then okay, and then let me one
No.
thing. Let me
Okay.
one thing about this. They
All
also a
right.
lot of the stuff that you see is fake. It's propaganda from Al Jazeera. It's fake. Okay, a lot of it is stuff from the Syrian civil wars. A lot of it is fake. From it's Photoshop fake. Okay, you have literally. It's a shame that I didn't prepare for this. There's a lot of videos that show them literally putting makeup on kids and women, and then make us a video of them playing that they are dead to the camera. Yes,
Okay,
there's
so
video
listen,
videos
so
of that
listen,
of them putting on kids makeup.
listen. Okay, so now the Hamas terrorists are putting on kids' makeup, which would be like against their
Yes,
religion.
yes,
But okay,
they are the
or
government
women's
then.
makeup. But okay, wait. Hold on. So I just want to unpack the logic here, right? So if a bad person say school, that's just a number, arbitrary number, but it's just for the sake of hypotheticals. Does that then make that school a school of bad people, or does that make
Bro,
that school a school of both good and bad people?
Bro, if you have a tunnel under that school and you have a Hamas, the Hamas uses this school
Why don't you
as
send IDF soldiers into the tunnels then?
I'll address that, but let me speak. You are cutting me off every time. Okay? Listen about the school. If you have Hamas terrorists taking a shelter in that school and using that school as an place of that you operating from that area or shooting missiles from that area, then it's not a school anymore. It's a terror base. And then if you have
So you're
civilians, Gaza civilians,
you're
you are
telling
telling
me
them to move out of the school.
by that logic,
You
then
understand?
all the
That
by
okay,
that
no,
logic,
let
all
me
the
finish. Let me finish my point. God damn it!
bro,
Listen,
what you're doing
no,
is
no, let me
Shadim, brother.
finish,
What you're doing is
bro.
Shadim.
Let me
What you're
finish.
doing is
You're
demonic,
telling me
okay?
not,
It's Shadim.
man.
You're
I'm
not
not
you,
even.
not you. You're not a demon. You're not a demon. I take that back. You're the
Oh,
way
lovely.
you're
All Jews
the
demons.
way no, I didn't say all Jews were demon. The way you're acting
So
right
all
now on
Israelis
this
are
stream,
demons.
No, not all Israelis are demons either. Your perspective on human life is demonic. You're shadim.
No, bro. If they
Yes.
butcher us
Yes.
and rape our women and butcher our babies, then f them.
Well,
To
I'm
hell with
team.
them.
Just to be clear, I'm team Jesus, the greatest Jew who ever walked the earth. Okay.
So, good
Jesus,
for
like
you.
so,
What
so
does that-
yeah,
what does
yeah,
that have
right,
to do with
right,
me?
right,
I'm a
right,
Jew.
right, right. And this is why, yeah, and Jesus was a Jew. He was the greatest Jew. And so the reason why I'm explaining this to you is because in our way of life, in our moral
And you
system,
claim that I'm a colonizer in my land. How lovely.
we don't play these games about human life. Okay, human life is important. No matter what sins a person committed, there's still a chance for redemption. That's what Jesus teaches. And so
Good
and so
for
and
you.
so wait and so
Not good. I
the
don't care.
issue and so yeah, I don't care either, and I don't care about the fact that you want to
I'm
cry
not a Christian. You're talking to the
oppressed
wrong
people.
person.
No, okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you, right? Yeah, I don't play those Jewish supremacy games. Like I don't do that. So so like the reason why I brought up Jesus,
I'm not a Jewish supremacist.
okay, yeah, you sound
I'm
like
not.
one. I'm talking about my religion, and you keep telling me to shut the fuck up. I'm talking about my religion, and you just keep telling me that I'm not supposed to care about Jesus. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Yes, I care. So I am going to speak my piece about it. That's what I am going to say. Okay. And so this is why the West is fundamentally better than Israel, right? It's because of our Christian morality. This is why, because we understand the value, even though Christianity was used to subjugate people, even though the Roman Catholic Church hijacked it and did all kind of crazy stuff, even though it was used to oppress my ancestors during slavery, the people
That's
who
a
left
lie.
Christianity, people who left Christianity to but still thought that the values of Christianity were good, were able to overcome evil with good in a non-Christian context. Like, well, it's always in a Christian context by my own logic, but in a non-religious context, right? And so the Western value says that human life is important. If somebody hits you, you hit them back, right? That's what the Bible says. That's one of the big 10 according to Jesus that we're supposed to follow. Those are moral laws according to the Bible, according to Jesus, and according to the Old Testament. So this Jewish person here can claim the lineage, but then ignore the law, right? Because the Bible says, the Old Testament, Moshe our rabbi specifically said that it's eye for eye, ear for ear, tooth for tooth, limb for limb. And my understanding is that the Jewish scholars believe that or explain that as proportionality. So by your logic, there are 73,000 confirmed Gazan deaths, including women and children. You said that there were 5,000. I'm giving you that number, 5,000 people who are Israelis that were slaughtered on October 7th. So in terms of proportionality, you are way out of line. That is not eye for eye, ear for ear, tooth for limb for limb. It would be 5,000, maybe 10,000. It would be 5,000, maybe 20,000. But you're way over the threshold of proportionality according to Scripture. So again, even by your own ethnic identifier, the Bible, you're not even following the logic, because I'm not Talmudic. I don't need to go I don't need to go to the Talmud. I can just go to the Bible, because we both believe in that, right? We both believe in the Old Testament, and it clearly says that proportionality is a part of moral law. So this is why we can say that what you're doing is shadim, brother.
Bro, first of all, I'm not a religious person. Let's put that start. Let's
But
okay?
your cultural identity is rooted in religion. So see, this is the problem. He's saying that he's not a religious person, but he wants to claim Gaza from 3,000 years ago because it was promised to him according to the Bible.
No, that's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth.
You just cooked yourself.
Don't put words in my mouth.
You just cooked yourself. So you never said. So why are you? So why are you entitled?
What I say before you put words in my mouth.
Why? I want you to explain why. Why are you entitled? Why are you entitled to Gaza?
For the love of God.
Even though there were people there before you got there.
Bro, I can talk. First of all,
go ahead.
There were Jews in Gaza before 48. Let's start with that.
And there were Christians too. A lot of them.
Bro, when we had this land in ancient times, Gaza was part of then the land of Israel. Okay. If you look,
you had the land in ancient times. So why many people, so the whole world is full of people who went on conquest, who explored, who tried to go discover new lands, etc.
You know what? Let's focus on
No.
Look, the main reason that we need to transfer them out of Gaza overall in the end of the day because they're a threat to our existence. They're abusing us for decades, and after something like October 7, we cannot have them anymore.
So what is Aliyah? What is Aliyah? What is Aliyah?
Aliyah is the return to the land of Israel. It's
right.
literally said to
what
go
is
up,
the what is the what now what is the return what is the return to
You're
Israel
talking
based
about
on?
the right of return.
Right. So what is the return to Israel based on? That right of return. What is this right? Where did this right come from to return?
Jews, we have a right.
Right. Where did the right come from?
Because we had this land in the past.
So that means, so wait, but by that logic, the whole world is full of settlers. So we should all just be able to be entitled to whatever land our ancestors was from, no matter who's there.
Stuff in Africa or Europe, that's not mine. Okay, I'm talking about
all right. So it would be okay. So it would be okay for me to go and take over. Say you say I'm sub-Saharan. So let me just go take over the city of Benin and mutilate all the people and tell them that this land was mine 3,000 years ago just because my ancestors were there 3,000 years ago.
Bro, if you want to migrate there, go ahead. That's not.
Wait, but you're talking about migration. Migration would mean that you were going to a place where people were already at, including the Christians.
Bro, it was never their land.
No. They were there. They weren't just floating in space.
They never had a country there. Learn some basic history.
So it was no people in Gaza. Before 1948, there were no people in Gaza.
I can answer you. First of all, the population of Gaza comes from the so-called Palestinian population that evacuated from Israel to there during the War of Independence. Okay.
So Gaza was empty before. Gaza was empty before that, right?
It was not empty,
right?
But the majority of them got there. First of all, the Egyptians forced them to stay there. That's one. And second, like I said, during the War of Independence, a lot of them left, and they left to there. Okay.
Now you just said that it wasn't empty, but the majority of people who were there migrated there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the indigenous people were displaced by the migrants, and that's why you're saying that you can have the land, that the land is yours and you're entitled to it. But there were migrants there before you got there. What about those people?
Bro, first of all, there were Jews there. Okay.
So they were all Jews?
No.
Exactly.
But many of them they never had independence there.
Many of them were Christians.
If I come to your house, I can stay there because
wait.
Been there once? No.
Black Americans had all type of independence across Africa, according to modern mainline scholarship. Before the conquest, the transatlantic slave trade and all of that, right? So by your logic, Black Americans should be able to go and tell the people who have been living there for centuries that they need to pack it up and get out of our way because we was here first, even though we weren't necessarily there first anyways.
You're going to make me sick.
I don't want to hear about your throat, brother. I don't want to hear about your throat.
Good for you. Oh, lovely. Listen to me, buddy.
All right, man. I gotta go soon. I'm gonna give you about.
As a community, you as a community, or whatever you want to call yourself, you didn't have a country there. Okay, you didn't have independence in Africa. Okay, you didn't have a country there, so you never had independence there. You don't have a land to claim. Of course, you once upon a time, your ancestor being a part of the population there. So
your claim to the country comes from
more than once.
Your claim to the
2 times in the past independence.
Your claim to the country comes from the Bible, brother. Sorry to tell you that.
No, from history, history.
What history?
What archaeology?
What history?
What history? We had 2 times independence in that land. 2 times. Read some history instead of your TikTok.
The right of return.
You want me to show you on YouTube?
The right of return. The right of return. No, I don't. I don't. The right. I don't. The right of return.
Open the wiki.
No, I don't. The right of return is based on the promise.
You don't want your audience
that
to
God
see
made to Israel, bro. YouTube is not a source. YouTube is not a source. Right. So you have you have a political perspective on where your history comes from, and that's fine. I'm telling you that fundamentally it's a religious view, because if not for religion, you would not be able to claim the land.
The people that created Israel were not religious.
The people who could, and maybe that's why the real Jews were actually upset with them. That's why.
I am a real Jew, buddy.
So is that a religion?
It's both. First of all, it's an
right. It's an ethno religion. It's an ethno religion, right? So that means that you guys have religious values that inform your ethnic practices.
There are atheist Jews, you know,
bro.
The people that created Israel, the majority of them were atheist Jews.
The right of return. Yeah, and maybe that's why it was so barbaric to displace the people that were already there. Yeah, it was.
They tried to butcher us in the War of Independence.
Bro,
okay, what do you expect?
It's a war. It's a war, dummy.
Yes, and in war, people that try to butcher somebody else pays.
Yeah. And the difference is,
they left in their own will anyway.
And the difference between what you're doing to Gaza and what Gaza did to you is proportionality.
We're making them paid so they will leave us alone. They need to go. They cannot stay after what they did to us.
So this is a genocidal maniac. So this is a genocide. This is for my audience. I gotta go soon. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just say what I've been thinking this whole time.
Okay, this is disappointed in you, bro. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you want to talk about, bro? I'll give you about 30 more minutes max, bro. So if you got anything else to say, all right, cool. Thank you. So yeah. So. This is a genocidal maniac, bro. This is really bad. This was really bad, y'all. Like, this was so bad. Like, this was so incredibly bad that I'm actually really disappointed. I'm really disappointed. I thought we was going to actually get to talk about Black American stuff and, like, really, you know, but at the end of the day, he just wanted to come on here and tell me how to feel about my history and tell me how to feel about